You're live.
We're live.
Hello.
Hey.
We are Supernova.
Yeah. Little man is with us today. He's just down there.
You will probably hear him, but not see him. So in the last live stream or last post we asked what you guys wanted to see, and the majority vote was a sewing project. And so today I have started something already. This is the beginnings of a valet tray for my room. So we're going to work on that today. Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and just get started. Hopefully this stream goes a lot smoother than
the last one.
It was a little chaotic last time. So we'll see how this goes. So I'll go ahead and switch cameras here, and we can get started on. Our camera fell.
Oh no! All right. That's a decent angle.
Good enough. I'm afraid it's just constantly falling.
Well, we will adjust when we need to.
It is. Well, whatever. Okay.
You
so
check that. I'll see if I can adjust.
This is the beginnings of the valet tray. I think it just needs that tightened. Yeah.
This one?
No, that one. Yeah. Sorry, we'll be shaky for just a second.
It says it.
Okay.
I can do it.
I think that'll be good. So it's just rectangle with the corners cut out, and so we're gonna
what
put.
What did you do here?
Yeah, so I just cut a little groove with my little groove cutters here. See if you can see that. Yeah, I don't know how this camera works. So I already cut the groove so that these will fold up a little bit easier. And so we'll end up sewing these corners together like this, so that it kind of pops these edges up to make it an actual like tray and not just a flat piece of leather. So do you want to check that on my phone, make sure our audio levels sound right? I just
You sound
okay. So what we're gonna do? Hi, buddy. I have another piece of leather. I haven't cut it out yet, but we're going to line the inside of this with another piece of like this really nice red leather. Let's see if I can get it out here. Working with limited space in here. There's this really nice chrome tan leather. I love the way it looks. So that's what we're going to use for the inside of this tray. So let's cut out a piece. Sorry, my dinner's over here on the side. So I'm going to avoid this section here because it's a little thinner, it's a little inconsistent. So I'm just going to cut out. Scissors. Cut. Just follow along this line. This way. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is just transfer these corners onto this red leather here and get this cut out. I think that's first step. So where'd my peep pen go? There it is. So we'll end up cutting just on the inside of these lines. Is that so, buddy? Hi. That was fun, bud. So You will probably end up hearing our son a lot tonight. He's very talkative. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about you, buddy. Hi. Okay.
You were such a mess, little man.
I'm going to go
Let's get this off.
right on the inside of these lines because I want this just a little bit smaller. To sit on the inside of the edges.
Oh, good grief.
Does the internet want to see Willow?
I'm sure they would love to see him. His face is covered in watermelon, though.
Can you say hi, buddy?
Oh,
You want more?
Let's go one of your.
You want a veggie straw?
You want a cracker thing?
Good job, buddy. Oh my goodness, you're adorable. He was not naked last time I saw him.
No.
Oh my
He was
goodness.
covered in watermelon.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
they're probably going to want to see your steps.
Oh yeah, I'm working again. There we go. Okay. So just realized I should not have done that one first, I think. Whatever. I can do this.
Learn as we go.
Yep. Okay. We'll line this up again. And let's go ahead and mark my lines this time before I cut. Come on, pen. There we go. And top. So I realize I get awfully focused while I'm working. I don't know how to commentate what I'm doing. So because I just marked those corners, I realized after I cut the first one that as soon as I cut it off, I lost my marks. And so I had to put it back on to be able to mark the rest of my cuts. So these two are still on there, so I can go ahead and get that one.
I thought you had cut it too short.
Now, I purposefully cut it shorter because I want it to sit on the inside ring. What we're doing, so there we go. There we go. Now I can go ahead and just cut the rest of these. These will just cut right on the line because we moved them in before. Hi, buddy.
I'm tickling.
I love it.
You want more? Could we get another?
Yeah, another veggie straw. Here you go, buddy. Good job, son. They're probably getting double audio. I'm gonna go ahead.
Let me listen.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't sound like double at the moment, but if anybody's watching at the moment and the audio sounds funny, please feel free to give us a comment so that we can get that fixed.
Yeah, you talking, son?
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the internet? There we go. So that's our piece. It will sit inside this piece here. Actually, it looks like I even still cut it too big, but I'll cut it down in just a second. Actually, no, that's about perfect. Okay. So that will sit there, and then we'll sew these edges together. Make it sit up like a ballet tray. And it'll look like that. So I think next thing I want to do, we can go ahead and get these out of here into my scrap bin. I have already beveled the edges on these here so that they will look nice once we burnish. So I'm going to do the same thing to these edges.
Right. Bevel the edges.
Yeah. So beveling and burnishing will help not only make the edges look nicer, but it will also help waterproof the edges of the leather. So not especially necessary for this. I mean, I don't think this is ever really going to come into much contact with water, but for like wallets, gloves, backpacks, anything that will ever get any real use in the elements, it will keep the leather from getting moisture in it and then rotting. So it's just a nice touch, and I like to do it on every exposed edge that I can. Not totally necessary, but I think it looks nice. This is where we need one of those like really high quality mics. I could set it right up next to that, because that is a very satisfying noise.
If you guys are interested in what that sound is, put in the comments that you want to hear it, and we will try to do a video of just close-up sounds.
Yes. It tells you how much of a nerd I am. I actually used to fall asleep to leather crafting videos just because I loved the sounds, and I thought it was cool.
I think they look really cool.
I still enjoy watching them.
Yeah, I like the close-ups of them carving or beveling the sides.
Yeah.
The little stringy pieces come off.
Yeah. It really is a very satisfying process. Okay. So that's all of the edges beveled. We'll burnish them. And that's the part that actually protects it. I gotta work so I'm closer to the center here. So this is toconol oil. From what I understand, hi son. It is actually fairly similar, just to like white Elmer's glue. Not exactly the same, but similar. But it just helps seal these edges. So this burnishing, basically what I'm doing is I've got this canvas cloth, and I'm just rubbing over the edges, and that basically just smooths down the fibers of the leather, presses them together, kind of glues them together, and that's what makes that seal. So I'll show you. See if we can go to this camera. And so, see, I think you'll be able to see the better difference here, maybe. Maybe not. You can't really see that camera.
Do you need more light on it or less?
I don't know. Maybe try the other camera. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not. The difference in the burnished versus unburnished. Yeah, I can't really see that very well. I think we'll have to do that another time. I don't know how to operate these cameras very well. But basically it darkens the edges a little bit. It just makes them a little more uniform. And I just like the way it looks. So I'm going to do it to all of the edges.
You're off frame.
Oh, sorry. Again, don't know what I'm doing. It's a good thing you can't see my face while I'm doing this, because it's not pretty.
Very serious focusing face.
Yeah. I've been told I look like I want to murder somebody when I'm focused, so... My wife is laughing at me.
You just look very, very serious.
Yeah. I kind of forget my face is like... People can see it. It's not always a good thing. Can you see on there if it...
Doesn't look like anybody's commented.
Okay.
But we are on.
Just say we have if we have any viewers.
It says one, but I think that's me.
Okay. Well, it's recorded. I know the YouTube algorithm is much tougher to get in people's timelines than other platforms. So.
Yeah, I know on Facebook it posts pretty regularly on people's timelines that are following. So
Yeah. There we go. Okay. All of the edges are beveled and burnished. Now, I think next step is probably... hi, son. You talking to us? Hi, buddy. I think next thing we'll want to do probably is get this glued down. Yeah, because then we can actually sew it together. I think that's the next step. So I use rubber cement. This is an Elmer's brand, but the way this works is you put a thin layer on both surfaces that you're trying to adhere. Let it get tacky, which just takes a few seconds to a minute. And then once you stick those two pieces together, they are very firmly attached. I just got to cover this whole area here. You don't want to let it build up in too many places, then it just won't dry out and get tacky, so you want to make sure it's spread really well. You crawling behind me, son? I didn't think there was room for you behind there, bud. Okay. bonking your head, son?
I think he hit it with his hand.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's one surface. I'm going to do all that again on this surface.
People voted for a leather sewing project. Only one person voted for the laser, and one person voted for 3D printing. So, in our next live, we will have to do some 3D printing or another laser.
Yeah. I can definitely nerd out about 3D printing for a while. Lasering too, I suppose.
We may even just have a nice time-lapse video of something being printed.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Again, if you are watching and there's something you want to watch be 3D printed in a time-lapse, comment what you'd like to see, and we'll see if we can get it printed.
Yeah.
Comment on our Facebook or on this video on YouTube. Even just DM us on Facebook.
Yeah, we'd love to hear ideas you guys have for whatever you want to see us do.
That's part about our majority of things being custom work is getting people's ideas and going for it.
Yeah. Set it aside because I got glue everywhere.
Is the keychain in here, baby? The book one?
The
library keychain.
Oh.
Oh, it's right there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Just seeing while you set things aside. Gonna tell them about something one of our customers mentioned.
Okay. So now these are tacky. You just touch it, it's a little tacky. Then we go ahead and put these together. The tough part about this is once you put kind of any pressure on this at all, it is
set.
It is set. It is very well stuck. So you kind of have to just take your time and make sure it's right where you want it. Which I think we're good. There we go. Have a little roller.
Sorry, the camera's shaking just a little bit.
Oh, is it?
Our table's hitting the camera stand.
Is that what's happening? Almost a perfect solution. We had a little mounted arm on the ceiling to mount the camera there so that when we were working on the table it didn't shake, but the arm itself was so wobbly it just constantly shook. So that was not a very good solution. Okay. So we've got this put together now. So I think we can go ahead and stitch around all four corners or edges here, and then we'll burnish these edges and then sew them up together. I think that is our next step. So first step in hand sewing, I have a sewing machine. It's like a hand crank machine, but it's covered in stuff that I haven't put away yet. So we'll be doing this by hand. So these are just, it's like a hand compass, but I took off the pencil part. This just helps me mark a line a consistent line all the way around the edges of the piece. So we'll do that, and then I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So we're marking our sewing line right now. So I basically just marked a line on the inside. I did about, I think it's about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge. So now we can mark or punch our stitching holes, and then we can just start stitching. So I'm gonna get. I have it's just a plastic board. I'll put underneath so we don't damage the chisels. And these are my stitching chisels. They're from Quarter Leather. They are a leather worker in Maine, actually, I believe. Maine or Rhode Island. I don't remember. But they made this line of chisels, and I love them. I use them all the time. So, yeah, I think we'll start in this corner.
It might be loud, so if your phone volume's up, you might want to turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, this might be a little loud. Sorry. We'll basically just start in our corner and start punching holes. What's he doing, son?
I was trying to get over to you.
Okay, yeah, that's really loud. I'm going to turn the volume of our mic down a little bit. So if you can't hear us now, I'm sorry, but this will save your ears.
Looks like it went through.
Yep. Okay. I think the first one might not have. Goodness. I should have put a noise gate on the mic.
Do you have one?
Well, I can try and do that real quick.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Can't see what's going on, but we're trying to make it so the mic doesn't spike every time he hammers into the leather.
Yeah. Try that. So, I think that'll help. Hopefully now we can bring that back up a little bit. And see if that helped. Yeah. That should have helped. Still loud, probably, sorry, but.
Man, that is loud.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that the mic is sitting on the workbench.
Yeah. We'll have a better setup next time.
Yeah. Hopefully, it just gets better every time. Okay, I didn't plan that, but that worked out perfectly. Started here, and the very last stitch, perfectly spaced, to land perfectly in that corner. I love it when that happens.
Or else you have to get one of... You have to offset it, don't you?
Yeah, you have to kind of cheat a stitch somewhere, and there will be one that's just like ever so slightly closer to the other one than it should be. And it just... You can hide it pretty well, and it's hardly noticeable at all, but still really nice when it lines up like that. So basically, what I'm doing here is I'm taking the last prong of the chisel and lining it up in that last hole from the previous punch, and then just lining it up on this line, and then punching. And that keeps everything spaced evenly. Keeps everything spaced evenly and looking nice and consistent. And we'll just do this all the way around.
And unlike cooking shows where we would have one 90% done, then switch to at this point.
Yeah. Not really an option, unfortunately. I mean, it could be, but
we did
I don't
not
have that kind of time.
We did not prep a whole second valet tray.
Yeah.
But if you're just now joining us, you can start at the beginning and watch it at 2 times the speed.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if you'll be able to see, but here, this stitch didn't quite, where's the camera? There it is. Didn't quite land in this corner, not quite far enough to just line up with this line. And so we're going to have to cheat this stitch just a little bit by starting it. Oh, where's the camera? There it is. Instead of lining up with that previous last hole, you're going to have to start just off this corner and kind of cheat that corner a little bit. So that's how it happens a lot of times, unfortunately. But you can still hide it pretty well and it still looks good. Just one of those things with handmade, anything that's not computer precision. That one did line up in the corner. Love that. Sorry.
It's so good.
There. Should be the last. Let's punch here. There we go. Okay, so now that we've got everything punched, our holes going all the way around the perimeter there, now we can go ahead and just start sewing. Oh my goodness, son. My son is the cutest boy in the whole wide world.
He's such a cheeser.
Oh my goodness. So I think I'm going to switch to the other camera for this one. I think you'll be able to see a little easier. Hello. So, this is done. Oh, hi, son. You can be on camera. So,
Rikering that chair.
I'm going to go ahead and actually move this down a little bit. So that you can kind of see my hands a little easier.
Yeah. Do you want to say hi to the camera?
Do you see the little boy on the screen?
Do you see him?
See the little boy on the screen?
On the little view screen? Yeah.
There it is. So I do saddle stitching, which is just one of the many types of stitching that you can do. And it requires 2 needles. And you kind of start the thread in the center of the thread. Ooh, I have a decision to make.
What is your decision?
Trying to decide what color of thread to use.
This would be great if we had more viewers. They could
Yeah.
vote. If we have any viewers at all. The black, white, or red stitching.
Yeah.
I think the white would look pretty good.
I think the white? I was trying to decide. I think the white would look good. I think it'll pop. Yeah. Black is always just classy. I think red would complement the interior leather, but I think white just looks so good. Yeah.
The viewers just now saw us asking. Look.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess. Give you guys a second to vote.
The whole one person watching.
Is it still just you?
I don't know. Hi, whoever's watching, even if it's just me looking at my phone to make sure the stream's running. Well, if it's just me watching, then I vote white.
Okay. I think we'll just go ahead and set up for that. You want to try and send a chat in? Make sure we can see it over here.
Yeah. Sorry, taking a minute.
You're good. Hey, there it is. I vote white thread. Nice.
Oh, we have 2 viewers.
We have
Hi,
2.
whoever
Hi.
you are.
Hello. So for saddle stitching, actually, I guess for any kind of stitching, to thread your needle, thread it like just a normal needle, and then you take the short end, kind of take it up and over your needle, and then put the needle through. See if I can figure out how to show you this. Put the needle through the thread.
Your beard is a good backing for it.
There we go. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see that. The thread is, or the needle is kind of going through the thread, and then you pull that thread down over so that it locks it in place. You can pull the long end, and it makes it like a knot on the end of there. I'm going to do that on both ends of the thread. I'll do that again on this side. Maybe. All that does is just keep the needles from falling off the thread. So we have our thread, needle on either end. So we're just going to start sewing. Doesn't particularly matter where you start. I'm just going to start here. But you'll take one end of your needle, doesn't matter which, put it through your first hole, pull it through, and then put both needles together, pull them up so that you have an equal amount of thread on either side of your workpiece. Drop them on the either side, and then I like to hold the back side of the thread with my fingers like this, and then take your needle that's on this side,
The top side?
the top side, and then put it through the next hole in the line, whichever way you're going. Pull it through so that pull it taut, and then you'll take your other thread,
Can't see it very well on the back side. Let me.
lock this thread. Yeah, see, I can show that a little better. So this is the thread that I just pulled through, and this is the first thread. So now I'm holding onto the first thread, grab the needle and put it through the same hole that you just pulled through. So I don't know how well we'll be able to show that.
We may want to do the top camera for this angle.
Maybe. So basically it ends up so that the threads are both coming out of the same hole, and now that's one stitch. So you can see the little easier on this side. We started in that top hole in that corner, and we moved down one. And so if this is your piece, you have thread going kind of S-shaped through it, going both directions. And that's saddle stitching, I believe. Let me go to the other camera so you can see it a little better. So I'm holding the backside, keeping it taut with this hand. So it's coming out of this hole, and so we'll go into the next one, push it through, pull it, drop this one, pick up the last one, and then pull this one taut, and go back through that same hole.
That's the one from the front came to the back end.
Yeah. So that and then pull it through, pull it taut. So you're basically just weaving the thread like this through the workpiece. And so
that's the second stitch.
Yeah, that's the second stitch. And we do that all the way around. We're talking probably 300 or 400 stitches, each one by hand. And that's why leatherworking takes so long.
Yeah. Well, while you stitch for a minute,
yeah,
I'm going to talk about
other camera. Want the other camera?
Sure. Yeah, the other camera. Hi. So our main thing is custom work, so it's harder to get a big backlog of just pieces because we don't know what everybody wants, right?
What's wrong,
You need a snack. But one of our customers,
come here.
one of our customers said that they had been looking for on Etsy, on Amazon for this very unique thing. Yes. Oh, yeah. But it wasn't until they contacted us and they talked through what they were wanting, I was able to help them figure out a design. But they love going to the library and getting books for their kids or themselves. But their little keychain library card, the corners kept getting broken and bent, and the corners curl up. So if Dylan's cards, they just always curl up on the side. And so they were wanting something to protect their library card. So we had done one for them, and another customer had heard of it and wanted their own. So this is a version that we have on hand right now. But so it's a little keychain that has a nice clear plastic to keep it safe, and all the corners are leather, so it's not actually ruining the keychain. And a little hole from the top. But this one wanted a custom. Man, it is dark.
Yeah.
Little custom design. Let's see if that of book stacked, which I think is really cute. So they were able to get something that wasn't, offered on Amazon or Etsy, because I don't know anybody who does this. So they just called and they're like, hey, I want something that protects my keychain card holder. And so over the phone, we had a consultation with them, talked through what they were wanting, what they were needing. And we came up with this little design to hold just those little cards that you scan. But the back is totally customizable. So if you are wanting a library card holder, can have books or your name on it or the library's name on it. Another person said they were wanting to have their zoo card in here. And so we're in the middle of designing that one. But they're thinking they want a family of zoo animals on the back. So we would figure out that design and send over an image to them to see if that's what they're wanting. I don't have it here, but I have something very similar on my keychain to hold my key fob, because we have a key fob, no actual key for our car. And to to make it just look a little nicer, we have a nice leather protector over it. It's just nice to have little random things just to make things look a little fancier.
Yeah.
But yeah, also hand stitched. And this one was a little harder to hand stitch because Noah had to hit through the plastic and both sets of leather and not let it slide at all because he couldn't use as much glue to hold it down because it still needs room for the card to go in the top so that the card actually fits in. Yeah, so this is just one of those items that we are working with, making personalized. Oh, you have my keys.
Yeah, forgot I had.
So here's my keys. Don't steal anything. But we have a used car, so it didn't come with a ring to attach to the keys. It was just the fob, and the little rings are so hard to get through this little plastic area. So Noah made a custom, holds it on the outside, keeps it nice, all access to the buttons, and then a leather strap to then attach it to the rest of my keys, which is super awesome and really helpful, and it just makes it a little nicer. And also then I know which keys are mine if I'm around other people with key fobs. We didn't, but we could have also personalized the back with a name, an address, a phone number, logo, which is another awesome thing. We've been talking about Noah's bracelet that he has. I have one similar. And we've been thinking about making one for Wilhelm with like his home phone and address hidden on the inside. So if he's ever out and about and people are like, what do you need? He's like, I got it on my wrist. It's awesome. Trying to think of other projects we're in the middle of because this is gonna probably take a few hours, and we are gonna try to keep these live streams to about an hour or so until we get a better audience that wants it longer. Because at the moment, people are just kind of hopping in and out, and there's not a lot of time in people's days to just sit and watch people craft.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Trying to think about. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
There's some food that dropped on some leather down there.
Yeah, I have probably 30 different projects going all at once.
Yes, son.
All the time. All in various stages of completion.
I love these.
Oh, yeah.
These are just super simple little loops that he has that eventually will go behind him, but you drill it in the wall, and then these little leather loops will be down, and we're going to put dowels through it and hang his leather on the wall. It'll look really nice once we're done with it, but seems like if we try to start any project, we end up having to pause halfway through. No idea why. But people had been asking about 3D printing stuff. So we're hoping to get some of that posted and shown next time, or even just in another post. Which, if anybody is interested in ordering 3D printed stuff, feel free to give us a description of what you're looking for, and we can see if we have access to it in our catalog of 3D printed items. Those ones are a little harder because we do need something already made. We do not design our own 3D printed stuff yet.
Yeah. There is a fairly large collection of like public domain models and things that people have posted that are just, they give permission for anybody to use for commercial use. So anything marked that way we can use. Otherwise, we have to pay for a license or make it ourselves. And I'm not much of a 3D modeler. I've done a few small things, but nothing complicated. So we have to just find things that people have already made and have listed as public domain, or even just given a free commercial license.
Yeah.
So our collection of things that we can print and monetize is limited. other than that, 3D printing is really fun. I think, at least.
It is pretty fun. It's fun to watch, although it's loud.
It can be. And it's a slow process. Well, in the world of rapid prototyping, it is incredibly quick. But when you-
Thank you. I don't need the credit. Thank you. Oh. That's a lot of drool. That's a lot of drool on that.
You sharing, buddy?
Yeah, he's trying.
Good.
You wanna? Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
All right. So we'll just
Kind of hang out.
watch you stitching for a little bit until it hits 7, and then we'll say our goodbye unless somebody pops on and asks a question or wants to see something.
Yeah. Say, our chat on YouTube, we've got it pulled up so we can see. If you guys comment anything, we'll see it. And hopefully we'll see it and react accordingly.
And I've got our Facebook pulled up in case anybody comments on any of our posts.
Nice. But, yeah, this is the majority of leather crafting. Just sewing. Lots of sewing.
We'll try to get his hand crank sewing machine up and running soon and post a little video of how that works and sounds and looks.
It's a lot of fun. And it speeds up this process dramatically.
But one perk of hand stitching is when it gets to about hour 2 of hand stitching and little man is just too wiggly, it's portable. And so we can go into our living room and watch TV while we sew.
We'll sit down in our living room, sit on the couch and put on our show, and right after dinner I'll just grab whatever I'm working on and I'll just be sewing while we're watching whatever show we're on.
Yeah.
Star Trek at the moment.
It's mostly Star Trek.
Usually Star Trek. We really like Star Trek. But, yeah, it's just a lot of this. Very repetitive, fairly tedious. But it does make it look really nice, really consistent. There's just something to handmade leather things. If you take care of them properly, they will outlast you. Just
and if
ridiculous.
You don't take care of them properly, they will still last for way too long.
Yeah. This bracelet is the second version.
Aww. Thanks, Mama.
Thanks. This is the second version of this bracelet that I made. Because the first one did wear out. But I did not take care of it at all.
You wore it like working outside, doing yard work and mowing.
Every day for probably 3 or 4 years. Yeah, the first one. And I never oiled it. I never conditioned it. Never did anything to try and keep it nice. And it still lasted multiple years with heavy use.
This one has lasted more than 3 years now, right? Or is it?
I think this one's about a year.
This one's a year?
I think.
Okay. But you still...
I don't know if you can see
got
paint splatters on it, because I worked painting not too long ago.
What were we painting?
I was at the church.
Oh.
Yeah. But, yeah, I love leather crafting. That's why I do it.
Very helpful that he does all the personalized stuff, because now if I need anything, I just go, hey, my birthday's coming up, hey, Christmas is coming up, hey, Mother's Day's coming up, I need a new this.
Yeah, everyone in my family, I think they have come to the conclusion that I don't buy gifts anymore, mostly because having a baby is hard. I make every gift for every occasion.
Which... tallied up is way more than we would usually spend on most people.
Leather is expensive, but when you have it, it's free.
So it's pretty nice because I have a leather Bible bag, a leather wallet, a leather everyday purse, a leather going out purse,
Multiple bags, multiple purses.
a backpack.
I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah, that's why he's got to learn more things. That's why we have the laser and the 3D printer, so he can figure out more gifts.
Son?
Oh, he's trying to get to the laser.
Sun lasers are dangerous.
At least it's turned
Don't do that.
off.
Hey, buddy.
We're messing around with trying to figure out how to make some sort of laser imprints in fabrics. Which, if we figure that out, that would be really cool. Because if we do get that figured out, oh, thank you for the kisses, son. Oh, thank you. We'll be able to like customize tote bags or shirts or.
So we did. I did make a couple of prototype shirts just for us.
But then they went through the wash, and we don't know which load of laundry they're in.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at. We were gonna wear them tonight, and I forgot. Oops.
Oh man, you're wiggling out of my arms. Yep.
So I think as we go along in the future in these, if these streams ever get longer, it will be just a lot of this sewing and crafting and just chatting.
Yeah. Probably a lot more silent areas while he's focused in doing a craft, which if you are a crafter yourself,
You'll understand.
it's nice to just kind of have something on in the background and just craft with us. Just grab your sewing, painting, writing, cricketing, paper mache,
Origami.
if we have anybody in there that does origami.
Dude, some of those origami things are incredible.
Yeah. Send us a message with a picture of your origami if you do that.
Yeah. Origami's cool. Yeah, you just talking, son?
He found one of his crackers on the floor.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We find food around the house all over the place. He will find food all over the place.
Yeah. We will have swept about 5 times that day, and then he comes over to me and he's like, "Look, I found a goldfish."
We have not given him goldfish. And who knows how long. He still finds them. Oh, yeah, the stitching. The only real way to do that is to punch the holes beforehand and to mark it to keep the stitching straight. Use the it's like a compass. I forget what it's called. But you just run it down the edge of your leather. I guess you can't see.
Yeah, so we've pre-marked the sides with this compass, which made straight lines, and then once the sides were marked, we were able to punch them in the straight line.
So we punch all the holes first before we actually do the stitching, because these needles are not sharp enough.
They're like embroidery needles. They're a little more blunt.
Yeah, they're really blunt. It's actually quite difficult to poke yourself with them. Because I have lots of times, but we punched all the holes first. That's the only way to really keep them straight. But they do. It does make it look very consistent and clean. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mom.
Oh, I didn't see who had posted that.
That was my mom.
Hi. Yeah,
Thank you, family, for supporting us. I appreciate it.
That's the only way we'll be able to continue is with family support.
It's true. What you doing, son?
He's trying to knock all the lights over.
Oh, fun.
Well, look at that. It's 7 o'clock.
Oh. Yeah, I lose time stitching. I've got like 2 more on this row, so
Yeah, let's finish this row.
I can show how we tie off
Ooh, nice.
the end, and then we can call it for the evening. Okay. So I've got one more stitch in this row. So go ahead and put it through, and then go through the other end the same way. So now we're in the last stitch, and it's coming out the same hole on both sides. Son, you're gonna turn off our stream. Thanks, bud. So, son, that's a knife. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I got him.
Okay. So, coming out the same hole, either side, on this kind of last corner stitch. So you see we started over here, stitch all the way through. What we're gonna do is take our needles and we're gonna go it's back stitching. We're gonna back stitch, go through the last hole we just did, so that it doubles up the thread. Pull it through, do the same thing on both sides, pull it taut. And then you can do that a couple of times if you want. Usually, especially for something like this that isn't really going to have any structural need for strength, you can just do one. I want the least amount of distraction on this side because this side is going to be face up. This is going to be the side I'm looking at. So I'm going to take this thread and put it through to the other side in the next hole, so that when it comes out, these two threads will be side by side. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Thank you. That's very helpful. So these two threads are side by side. We've back stitched one full and then kind of a half. So basically what we'll do here is we'll snip these really close up to the thread and then burn the thread, tamp it down, because there's wax. This is waxed thread, and so it'll kind of melt and get waxy, and then just that's what keeps it in place. So take our little snippers here, snip it really close. You can see there's just the smallest bit hanging off there. Then we'll take our lighter, wherever that went. There it is. Take our lighter. My son is trying to break everything. And then we'll burn those threads. And then use the lighter to smooth it. And then you can see it.
Turning with light.
Oh, I think you're good. It's just not focusing well, but that push those fibers down and finished off that thread. So that's one side all the way stitched. We'll do that all the way around and then stitch up these corners. And that'll be that. Thank you guys for joining us. Everyone who was able to make it.
Yeah.
We'll do this next time. At some point, I'll finish this and maybe we'll post it.
Yeah.
So, okay, buddy.
We're ready. All right.
know,
You want to wave bye-bye?
Can you say bye? Can you say bye, son?
Bye.
Bye, son.
Good job.